Kia ora koutou, ko Fiona Ingram tōku ingoa, kei a whakatū ahau I Aotearoa. My name is Fiona and I'm bringing you the news of the astrological world as it applies to our town here, Nelson in Aotearoa. Today I'm at Tahuna Nui Beach for the first time since lockdown. Level 4 changed to level 3. There's so many people here. It's gorgeous. They're all out enjoying this autumn sun, warm sun actually, and I had to find a kind of hidey hole to record this so there wouldn't be dogs and people everywhere, but it's good. In this video I'm going to talk about Scorpio, full moon, Pluto going retrograde, the planet that rules Scorpio and the planet of deep passion and power and intensity going retrograde. Venus also going retrograde this month, planet of relationships, love and money, going backwards. What does that mean? At the end of the video, some suggestions for your spiritual practice. So what is the full moon? This is when the sun and the moon are on opposite sides of the sky and the sun's light is fully lighting up the moon. It's a time of culmination when you've reached the peak of an activity, something you've been working on either for the last 2 weeks since the new moon or since the new moon in that sign 6 months ago. So the new moon in Scorpio took place 6 months ago and now it's the full moon in Scorpio, so maybe there's something you've been working on over that time. Emotions are heightened and instincts are heightened and secrets can be revealed with the light of the moon. And as the full moon is in Scorpio this time, it might be that some emotions or some deep hidden feelings might come to light. I'm showing all these clips of water where I could find it, deep water and still water, because this is the element of Scorpio. Deep hidden emotions are represented by water, deep water. And Scorpio perfectly is summed up by the saying, still waters run deep. I've jumped miraculously now from being by the river to the top of the centre of New Zealand to talk about Taurus, because Taurus is the land, the earth. There's the water of Scorpio out there, and the earth, the hills, the rock, that is Taurus. What we can see, feel, hear, touch, the sensations, what's on the surface, what's obvious, whereas Scorpio is what is hidden. And for the first time today, late autumn, we have snow on the doubles. Nice cold day today. We had our fire going for the first time, so that was a nice Taurian sensual experience, feeling that heat. Okay, so the full moon is opposite the sun, and so we will have that pull between the deep hidden feelings of the full moon in Scorpio and what we can touch, see, feel, hear, the obvious things that are noticeable on the surface with the sun in Taurus. At the time of the full moon, Mercury will be nearly conjunct the sun, and this might mean that we feel a pull or a separation and therefore a conflict between what we think, Mercury, and what we feel, the moon in Scorpio. What will help us work this out will come through Neptune, which is sextile Mercury. That's a good aspect. Neptune helps us to remember about unconditional love, compassion, acceptance of all, everyone, everything. So bring compassion to any problems that you have when you're finding your head and your heart are not working well together. Also, because of the influence of Neptune on this full moon, trine to the moon, sextile to the sun, and because of Scorpio being about deep emotions, this could be quite a healing time over this full moon. So if you feel the welling up of emotions and the need to process them and let them flow in a healthy way, allow that to happen. Allow yourself to cry or talk it out if you've got the right person to hold space for you, or journal or draw. EFT tapping is another good one. And yeah, call on Neptune's compassion and acceptance of all that is to help you with that journey. Between now and the end of the year, a lot of planets are going retrograde. When planets go retrograde, this is not that they are really going backwards in their orbit around the sun, but instead it's the way they are seen from the Earth, so that they look like they're going backwards from our point of view. The retrograde motion, as it appears from the Earth, affects the part of life that planet rules. One of the important planets that has just gone retrograde last week, and it does it quite often, it's every year, and that is Pluto. And that's important to this full moon because Pluto is the ruling planet of Scorpio, and like Scorpio, it governs the intense emotions and deep power and psychology. So we might be doing some introspection, not just through this full moon, but for the rest of the year, where we might be going into deeply buried feelings from the past, maybe ones that we thought we were over, but they're still coming up. Another planet that is going retrograde in a week or so is Venus, and that doesn't happen very often. It's not every year. And Venus will be going retrograde for about 6 weeks. And because Venus rules relationships, we might really notice something in our relationships where we are thinking about our past relationships. Maybe we start missing someone that we didn't think we would miss ever again. Your ex might show up on your doorstep. Then that doesn't mean you have to get back with them, though you might be tempted. But if you do want to go back with them, think about it carefully, because this retrograde period just lasts for about 6 weeks and you'll be feeling differently after that. It's not a good time to start a new relationship, and it's not a good time to start a new business either, because of Venus also rules money. It might be a time where you feel like you're a bit lovelorn, like you've got a longing, a yearning for somebody from the past, or for somebody that you never met, maybe wishing that the one would come along. Be patient with the retrogrades. Our world asks us to live according to the illusion of linear time, but in fact time isn't like that. Time is circular. But we might feel like we're going backwards, but really this is bringing us to move forward to advancement. However you feel about it, they will pass and the planets will move forward again, and we'll feel like we're going forward in our lives after the retrogrades are finished. Here's a suggestion for your spiritual practice for the time of Pluto retrograde. Use this time to notice where you've got blocks, deep-seated blocks that are largely unconscious. Bring them to consciousness through journaling, counselling, meditating, thinking deeply. Even analysing has a place. Not with a view to expunging them or getting rid of them, instead with a view to learning to embrace them, learning how to work with them, manage them, accept them as part of you and part of your life, and how to work with them not only for your own sake, but so that you can help others with similar things. And a similar suggestion for Venus retrograde. Venus, the planet of love and money and pleasurable experiences, sensuality, relationships. Use that time of Venus retrograde to work on your relationships. Once again, delving down deep, exploring, some analysing. Venus is in Gemini, going backwards, intensifying the Gemini aspect. So work on communication in your relationships. Not such a good time to start any new relationships, but a time to learn how to enhance, celebrate, work on our current relationships. And finally, so many planets going retrograde this year, more than usual. Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year always. The outer planets usually go once a year for a long time, so we're kind of used to that. But Venus and Mars going retrograde, that's extra. Everything has been thrown up in the air with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction at the beginning of the year, which is manifested with the whole COVID and lockdown and everything. So it's all been thrown up in the air. The next few months, the rest of the year pretty much, will be a time to allow things to fall into place, probably in a new way. So it's probably good that we're not firing ahead, going forward fast. It's a good time to have these retrogrades so we can sort things out, go a bit deeper, have time to think about what we want. What do we want the new world to be like? What do we want our lives to be like? So there is my video whānau, all about the Scorpio full moon and the retrogrades coming up. I hope that you find wonderful ways to work with these energies and enjoy the passionate, sensual, emotional full moon that we've got. So you will notice that I recorded this video over a few days in a few different temperatures and a few different locations, and you're probably a local person, so you'll be able to pick out the locations. I'm announcing here that this is the last video I'm going to make for the moment. It's been really fun making them, and thank you so much for watching them, and for those of you who gave me feedback and comments, it's so appreciated. Please go forward in your life enjoying the rhythms of the earth and the planets and the moon and the sun. They are ours and we are part of them. Ka kite anō.